Hello there guys, it's me Unstable Voltage and welcome back to episode 25 of Stellaris as the Chinor Stellar Union. I keep saying it's as the Chinor Stellar Union. It is technically a little bit of a custom Chinor Stellar Union because by default, the Chinor Stellar Union that comes pre-programmed as part of the game actually uses hyperlanes. And I adjusted them to warp because I just find warp is technically a little bit more versatile. And warp is what's recommended for the new player. However, I actually think the hyperlanes are far more interesting, which is what they should have had. So, you know, maybe next time I play another game, I will do one that uses hyperlanes, or maybe even one that uses jump drive, not jump drives, wormholes. Wormholes are really good. Now, jump drive is a technology that everyone can get later on, but it does come with certain risks, and we'll explain that when we get to it. So, Tau Ceti has been researched. Let's go and do this system here, because we know we've got some space nasties down there. Incoming transmission, non-aggression pledge with the combined Rixie planets. They really don't want me to attack them, do they? They really don't want me getting involved in there. So yeah, we can see a lot of space. There's bits and pieces that we haven't been able to uncover because it belongs to our rival. I'd really like to be able to take a chunk out of him. He is still equivalent though, which is the problem. He doesn't have any friends. He's got no allies or anything. So we could possibly go to war with them, but it'd be very risky with equivalent technology. Full-on minerals again. What we could try and do, because we're making so many minerals, if somebody else actually has decent energy credits, they probably don't, but maybe these guys do. We could offer them a trade deal, and what we could do is we could say, well, how about I give you some minerals per month, and you give me some energy credits per month. Now, they might not have many to give. A lot of it depends on if they have a surplus, really. But trade deals also increase how much they like you. They seem to have a bit of a surplus. Seems like we can get a trade of about 1-for-1 right now. We're at the cap, so we don't want to go too much, but we're at the cap for both. So let's say we go and do... let's put that number up, not down. Let's do that, so they're likely to accept. So they're going to give us energy credits, we're going to give them minerals. Let's hit confirm, see if they'll say yes. There we go, they've accepted. So now we're making positive energy credits again. We're still making positive minerals. Brilliant. Don't mind that at all. Yeah, we know we've got bad guys down there we will have to deal with. Let's just make sure the fleet is still on aggressive. Now, how's things going on with Earth here? Are we still uplifting them? Yeah, we are. Not too sure why that changed. Technological enlightenment. An effort is being made to rapidly elevate the native civilization to the space age. The time it takes is dependent on their current level of technology. So it's going to take a while. This was actually going to take, what, 52 months for them to get to the next level. So we'll see what's going on. How's our science doing? We've almost finished the Galactic Administration. That'll give us an extra +1 monthly influence. We don't need to build anything in order to get that. As soon as we've finished the science, as soon as we finish the tech, we'll get an extra +1. It allows us to build a building, which is a building that you would build on a planet. And it's quite expensive, 1,000 minerals and 200 influence, and it does take 3 years to build, but that actually produces 1 influence anyway, so it's actually really worth it. It also increases I think it's basically it's an actual capital building, so you're actually upgrading your sort of capital tile for that one. So really nice upgrade. And we're working on these Durasteel sort of Durasteel armor. That's going to take 15 months. Most of our tech's only sort of, you know, a year away, roundabout. So that's not too bad. What have we got here? The Githian, you are down there. Let's go ahead and sort of survey the rest of these worlds. We'll have to, again, ignore the space nasties. We've got the Shadowhawk up here. Our fleet is engaging, so that's fine. So once you've cleared those nasties out, I'll send you back down to deal with the ones down at the bottom. There are actually a couple of... there's a few things up here we could go and explore, actually. It might be worth going around and having a look up here. Because we are still looking for Cybrex stuff, so that's fair. Looks like the Githians ran into some mining drones as well, which is unfortunate. Well, that's sorted. So let's get Shadowhawk over here to survey that system. And let's get our fleet. Do we really want to check this out? These are probably clear because I'm guessing that most of the natives around here will have dealt with something. Now, I've just noticed something interesting on the map, which I'd like to go and show you guys. And I will do just as soon as we've gotten these fleet to get its new orders.
Research complete.
Githian, why are you being so slow? Are you still... It says you're still moving, but I don't know how. Found an anomaly. Let's go ahead and research it. Githian, there we go. You can go and survey that system. So what I did just notice up here is you'll notice what we have is a sector of space that actually has these sort of crossed-hatched lines, 2 different colours. And I'm guessing half of it belongs to these guys. These are the consolidated Abaddon regions. They're an independent empire. And then you've got this area here. Now, it says it lies within their space, but it probably belongs to somebody else. Yeah, these are the consolidated Abaddon regions. These are the Hathgum Galactic Confederacy. Now, if we actually look down here, we talk to these guys. These are let's just call them the HGC. So the green guy is the HGC, the grey guy is the COR. Now, if we go and have a look at this system, we can't really tell what's going on, but what we can see is that, yeah, they're a vassal. So what you've got is it's shared space because it belongs to 2 different people. Now, I've seen this with vassalage, and I've also seen it happen sometimes where you've got 2 different planets that are both colonized within the same region of space. And that can happen if you were to go to war with somebody. You can ask them to seed planets. And if they've got 2 colonized planets within the same system, and they cede one of their planets to you, then that'll be shared space, because half of it is yours and half of it is theirs. And I don't see it very often. It does seem to have a little problem sometimes with border access. And again, I'm hoping that's one of the things that they're actually trying to work out in the current patches. I'm still looking around to see if I can find any fallen empires. I haven't spotted any at the moment yet. I'm very surprised if there aren't any on the map. Very, very surprised at all. I certainly haven't seen one. Anyway, let us carry on. We've just finished a research, actually. That was the one for the extra monthly influence. That is always nice. New research. So, what can we have here? Private colony ship. Now, they can be useful. Cheaper colony ships. Military academies, cheaper army upkeep. Better biolabs. Actually, let's go and get the private colony ship then. It'll be relatively quick to do. And, yeah, so there's that. What else are we going to do while we're here? There was something I just thought about. I thought, oh yeah, that's an idea. That's something that I need to do. And now I've completely forgotten what that was. Let's go and see if we can build that upgrade. We can't build it on our homeworld. But we should be able to build it on some of our other planets. I'm not too sure why we can't. Maybe it's because we don't have the influence, actually. Let's go ahead and upgrade this to a Physics Lab 2. So I was trying to even these out. What have we got here? We've got an ancient life pod. An abandoned life pod was detected in close orbit of Alvirar 5. It's covered in scorch marks, presumably from when the pod's mothership exploded, and preliminary scans suggest it was built more than 5,000 years ago. The crew of the CUS Shadowhawk 2012. See, it gives me the correct names now. Thank you, Glenn. The crew of the CUS Shadowhawk 2012 managed to open the pod, revealing the withered remains of a reptilian alien clad in a resplendent uniform. Clutched in one of its claws was a small picture of another individual from the same race, possibly a mate or revered leader. Interesting, so that gives us 150 society research. Always nice to get free stuff. So how are things going over here? We're still uplifting Sol. We've got this planetoid down here, which is not doing particularly well. Let's be honest. It's a little bit of a slow burner, this one. It does still have positive food. Doesn't have positive energy credits, though. So we probably need, at some point, to build a basic power plant there. Try and get some energy credits from that. We could get some energy credits here, actually. We could go ahead and bring the CUS Glen up here and get a... Oh, no, we can't do it on that one, can we? Because that's actually a habitable planet. The only way to get the resource from a habitable planet is to habit it. Or inhabit it, or whatever the correct terminology is. Let's make sure we're not paused anymore. I see these guys are actually starting to grow out here. Now, these guys are actually going to cut me off a little bit if they keep doing that. Maybe we do need to sort of get rid of our non-aggression pledge with them and actually give them a little bit of a stomping, because they're starting to sort of expand a little bit in a direction that I don't like. And these guys up here to the north, the Union of Hull-Fast Corps, they look a little bit bigger and scarier than these guys. These guys are equivalent, but they are militarists, so that does actually help them. We might be able to give them a little bit of a kicking. I don't know. Honestly, haven't seen what their fleets are like. Can't see what their fleet sizes are or anything like that. Like I said, you can sometimes be a little bit tricky. You can ask for civilian access, move one of your science ships in, have a little bit of a nose around inside their borders and see what they're up to. So that's always good to do. Technology research, map the stars and research institute. Didn't really need it, but Navigators Guild, what does that give us? So that is a module, so it's something that you build on a spaceport. Gives us increased chance to hit, increased warp speed, and 100% sensor range. That's very nice. I think what I'd like to get, that's really expensive. I was going to say I'd love to be able to get the increased physics labs, but that is so expensive in technology. I guess we could go for the antimatter power. I mean, we do have a particle physicist here. Let's go ahead and get the mining drone lasers just to get it done, because it's going to take 5 months and it's off the list, sorted. So I want to have a look at these guys and see what they're up to. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to them, I'm going to offer them a trade deal, and I want border access for I've never had station rights before with another civilization. Allows the other party to construct military and wormhole stations. But what I want is civilian access. They're going to say no. I'm willing to give you 3 minerals a month to give me civilian access. They're most likely going to say yes. If we're unpaused. Yep, they've accepted. So what I can do now, if I go ahead and let's grab, what's this? This is the Carston. If we grab the Carston, we can actually now fly to their home world. We can have a little bit of a look around and see what they've got. Have a look at their fleet size. We can see what sort of defences they have. We can even have a look at their ships if we find their fleet and see what sort of armaments they use. So it's definitely useful to be able to get the civilian access. And you can learn a lot about your enemy. Our construction ship, the Glenn, is finished. There we go. That's connected all of those up. That's exactly what I was hoping would happen. What we'd like to do now is go and mining stations, research stations, and then come here and build all the mining stations. And because these are costing me an absolute fortune, we are going to go into the sector. And if we have enough influence, which we just about do, we're going to add this. And we will add this and this. Do I want to give that planet up there? Yes. Do I want to give them that as well? Yes. Do I want to give them anything else? No. So there we go. We've made our sector a little bit bigger. I will still build those buildings. I won't pay the maintenance for them, so that's fine. So the Carston, what were you doing? There we go. We've managed to get into their home. That was a little bit slow, wasn't it? So what we can see here is they have a military station. They have a military station that has a FTL inhibitor. We can see they have a fleet that has... they've got a couple of science vessels here. They've got a fleet that is basically... Wow, they've got a battleship here. This is a 1K fleet, and it's 2 ships. It is literally 1 battleship and 1 corvette. Now, if we go and have a look at this, we can see that they are using hyperdrive, so we know they're going to be using hyperlanes. They are using mostly laser weapons. Look at that, they're actually well ahead of us. They've got X-ray lasers times 4, and they've got antimatter missiles. So they are using some explosive, some kinetic, mostly energy, and they do have relatively crap shields though. So they've got good armor, but relatively crap shields. So if we are using laser weaponry ourselves, we're going to be able to do a lot of damage. So what we want to have We want to have laser weaponry or explosive weaponry, because that will do the most damage to their ships, because it'll bypass their shields. And we also want to have... well, shields do protect from laser weaponry. Armour doesn't really. But their shields are quite crap. Now, they're using lasers, so we want to make sure that we have shields, which we've got to a certain degree. That's their battleship. Just have a quick look at their corvette. Again, it's pretty much the same sort of build there. So, we now know what they've got. We know what sort of tech they're using. That's fine. We're going to get the Carston back home. And we will, yeah, let's move you back here. So what we want to think about doing now is potentially building some defensive stations, because there's only certain ways that they can come in. So for example, the only way that they could come in to Daramar here is either directly from Markab or from Azar. So what we could do in this star system is we could build a defensive station here, and it would sort of catch them whichever direction they came in from. So that's what we're going to start planning on doing. Those mining drone lasers are done. Oh, we've got loads of stuff now. So what do we want here? Improved assist research. That could be useful. Plasma throwers. We've got the green shard thrower. Extra research alternatives. Basically means when we get a list of things to choose from, we get an extra one to choose from. Barrier point defense could be useful, because we do know they do have some explosive weaponry on their ships. So let's start working on that, and then we'll also go for the engineering one. Better engineering facilities might be useful, although again, our engineering tech isn't all that bad. Fusion missiles. Yes, let's try and get some of our explosive weaponry upgraded. I've got lots of ships right now doing nothing. So let's keep you exploring. We've got the Carston. You are going back over here to Schlurg, where you are going to assist with research. And we've got the Shadowhawk, who is going to... I wish you could right-click on the debris from this screen, but you can't. You always have to go in here and do it. If you could go and research that project, that would be fantastic for us. Good. Things are actually looking quite nicely at the moment. Still got that little bit of shared space up there. That's fine. How are the humans doing? Are we still making progress there? I did click on it. Yep, we are still making progress. Hostile fleet, where was that? That is the Githian. A lot of hostiles down here. We definitely need to get our fleet down here. They are on their way. Just takes them quite a long time to get anywhere. Obviously, we can travel through our vassal space. Now, as soon as we've finished upgrading all of this stuff with the CUS Glen, we'll move over here and start to make some defensive stations to try and protect ourselves a little bit from the combined Rixie planets. So I think we could build a defensive station here in Shellac. I mean, they can go into Shellac, but they can't really get anywhere else from there. They're most likely going to try and come directly after my homeworld. So the best place for me to build a defense station would be build one in Lando. Because if we build one over here, we could sort of try and catch them coming in. Where they're likely to come in from, though, is either Rotanev or Norgon. And I don't think we could cover both of those with a single inhibitor, which is a little bit worrying. But we could certainly build one in Daramar and try and stop them from coming in. So we'll have to work out the best way of doing that. What have we got here? You keep running into nasty things. So go ahead and try and survey that one. Shadowhawk, you've done your research. Let's go up and do some of these ones then, because we know there's still a handful up here that we haven't gone and surveyed yet. Again, you can see how easy that is. We can go straight from Unar to whatever that system's called. If we were using hyperlane technology, we'd have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 star jump. So warp is more versatile, but it's still a lot slower. Now, we can't build battleships yet, which is unfortunate. Yeah, we can't get level 6 spaceports. I think that may be something that we do need to work on next time around. Now, bear in mind as well, I doubt that his surely his entire fleet is not one battleship. I refuse to believe that his entire fleet is a single battleship. We've got another society research done, so we've unlocked private colony ships now. So, leader pool size. So we get more leaders to choose from, plus an extra 2 leader capacity. Don't really need that. Galactic Stock Exchange is a building that gives us plus 10% energy credits. Okay, that's not too bad. I think what we're going to go for, though, is an extra 10% naval capacity. Because that'll certainly come in handy if we do need to go up against the combined Rixie planets. They must have another fleet around somewhere. Although, that said, yeah, that can't be their full fleet. I mean, my fleet power is nearly 7,000. Well, actually, it's over 7,000 because I've got 2 sort of fleets at the moment that aren't together. So, my fleet is a lot more powerful than that one battleship. They must have other stuff somewhere else. They have to. We lost a scientist there, unfortunately. You were leading the Shadowhawk. That's a shame. You were a good scientist. You had a lot of skill. What have we got here? Research speed, rocketry. Ancient civilizations, anomalies. Anomaly research speed plus 50% and fail risk minus 25. That's quite nice, actually. Oh, 10% extra anomaly discovery chance. Let's go for that one. So we'll put you in charge. And you can carry on surveying the system. Fantastic. So we'll get rid of that. It looks like our... Yep, we're engaging the hostiles now. So we're going to have a few things down here to clear out. We should be able to deal with these guys just fine. But yeah, I think what we'll want to do is go and attack this guy at some point and take him as a vassal. And then I won't have to worry about sort of his space sort of swallowing mine up. We should be able to deal with him. Shouldn't be too much of a problem. Might even be worth trying to grab another frontier outpost up here somewhere and just extending the borders of this sector. But I don't think we necessarily need to do that. Got another system surveyed. That's the Githian. Oh no, you ran into hostiles, didn't you? Oh, there's just hostiles everywhere. Go and survey that one. Hopefully that'll be fine. We can always hope. But yeah, then when you've done that, actually no, I've changed my mind. Probably can't cancel you from doing what you were doing. I want to. Want you to stop doing that. You'll probably run into hostiles when you get over here anyway. But I want you to come over here and yeah, survey this system, and you've got debris to get rid of. And we need to move the fleet down there and deal with the next lot. But we're well over the 20-minute mark. I'm just really getting into this game at the moment because I quite like the way that I sort of quite like the way that things are going. Really, it's starting to go well. We're really sort of getting. It's a bit of an ugly border, I'll admit. You know, we're not a nice sort of a relatively roundish blob like some of the empires are. But I've been trying to sort of cherry pick some of my some of the places I expand to. If we go and have a look up here at the Order of Gleer, I mean, they've got this really random exclave over here, which, why did they take that? I mean, it's not a particular... Unless it was just a good planet. What did they inhabit? They inhabited this world. Yeah, okay, fair enough. It's an 18-tile world, but not a particularly good system. And the systems around it aren't fantastic either, but if they're using hyperlane technology, this is you know, it's a choke point. It cuts this area of the galaxy off from this area of the galaxy, because without going through somebody else's territory, the only way to get there is to go along this hyperlane. So it does make sense. And if they spread up to here, like, they could grab this system here, which is really nice, because it has 2 different strategic resources and 9 minerals, and there's only one hyperlane that leads into it. So yeah, maybe there is some sort of logic to the AI doing that. I really don't know. But that's where I'm going to end it on this video. So thanks a lot for watching, guys. I hope you are still enjoying Stellaris. I'll see you guys next time, and until then, goodbye for now.